Welcome back, everyone. So what you're looking at right there is I forget who makes it, but it's a 124 scale Ford F50, maybe an F-150, but it's a 1956 Ford truck, right? Highly recognizable. And these are axles from a 1/16 scale crawler, and as you can tell by the drive shafts down there, they are hanging down quite a bit. I kind of have a roughed in chassis where I need to elevate this a little bit higher. Going to be kind of a crawler if I can get it to work out right. Did make a homemade gear reduction box right here, the scrap 130 motor and a couple of gears. We got the motor pinion gear turning a large spur gear or reduction gear, which also has a secondary gear on it that you cannot see because I've started sealing it off. Anyway, so it gets reduced quite a bit by the time it gets to that axle output shaft and that axle output shaft. I don't know if this should be the front or the rear just yet, but this will get trimmed down a little bit, and then I'll heat form a piece of plastic around it. Basically almost the same contour as that, except I'll probably drag it down to right about where my thumb is. I'll just kind of bring it up at a gentle arc. I did test it with a 7.2 volt battery pack. It does work pretty well. For those who are curious, you know those cheap ass screwdrivers that you get when you're like drones or RC cars, these little things right here? Well, the output or these drive shafts, like for example a WPL, they say they're 3 millimeter, but they're actually more like 2.9 millimeters, right? And the same with the, let me take this off. And the same with the input shaft on the axle. They're like 2.9 millimeters in actuality right here, the little brass piece that would stick out of there. These little screwdrivers happen to measure out, you'll probably have to grab a pair of calipers, but this happens to be the perfect measurement. So I heated one up with a torch, and then I separated the metal from the plastic right here. And I just simply cut off the ends to where I needed it, and that ended up being my output shaft. Kind of out of focus right there, but anyway, I think you get the idea. So I guess that's my technically my second video, but first I gotta finish setting up this chassis. Right now I just got it glued up with a little bit of CA glue or super glue, and then I'm gonna put some bolts through it, and then I'm gonna mount it to that and do cutting and drilling where necessary, and then I will attempt to put suspension on here so that way I can elevate it a little bit, right? That's how that's going to work.